Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. Today it's such a hot day here in Cochrane and I'm sorry if you can hear the air conditioning blowing, but otherwise I would just melt, so apologies if it's loud. But today I'm going to make a card that I've actually made before. I'm just going to change the paper and the design that I've used. And this little card is one I made that looks like the magnolia paper, so I probably made it over a year ago. But it was a really easy card to make. I'm going to change a couple of little details. Like on this card, I cut the circle so that it was level with this mossy meadow, but actually I'm going to take it right to the edge of the card this time. And I'm going to use these cute little Zany zebras. I haven't used the stamps before. This is the first time I've used them. I've just taken them out of the wrapping and added the little pictures, sort of the little sticky images to them, and got them all ready. So I thought I would use some of the Magenta Madness paper, and it's quite a bright pink, but this is going to be for sort of a 11-12-year-old little girl, and I think she'll like this colour paper. So what I did was I used the in colour paper. I love this 6x6. I think it's really manageable and I like the designs this year. So I love this for more masculine cards and for the autumn cards that I'm planning. But I wanted to use just that bright pop of pink on them. And I didn't buy a set of each of the card stock colours. What I bought was this set where you get 4 sheets of each of the colours. I've already used all the Just Jade, and what I tend to do is I buy this set first, and if I find there's a colour that I use a lot of, then I buy the whole pack of it. There might be some colours that I don't use so much, so maybe I won't use the Magenta Madness as much. So maybe I'll only have the sheets that are in this pack. But I know the Misty Moonlight and the Just Jade are going to be firm favourites. And so they are the ones that I'll probably buy a full set of. So all I've done is I've cut in my thick Whisper White. I've got a basic card layer for my base. And if you check on my blog, thecraftsbythebow.blogspot.com, all the sizings will be on there. But I've got my basic size, and then I've just gone down 1/4 inch each time. So my card, my Magenta Madness card, is at 5 1/4 by 4, and my Designer Series paper is at 5 by 3 3/4. And that's going to fit just right on the front like that. But before I attach that, I want to do the rest of my layers. So I'm going to start just with the ribbon layer. So I'm going to put this on at the side so that you can see and you know what I'm doing. So I want this ribbon layer to go across. On this one, I glued just a line of ribbon and then made a little bow separate. But this time I'm going to do it all in one. And I've got the seam binding. It's very thin. I don't want anything too bulky because I'm going to be mailing this. So I've just got plain seam binding, and I'm gonna tie it all the way across, and then I'm just gonna put a little bow at the edge. Let's just tie this. I'm sure you don't need to watch me tying bows, but I should have pre-tied this. The nice thing about this seam binding is it lays really flat for you, but it still gives lots of depth and dimension. I'm going to make that just a bit smaller. And don't worry that it's a little bit loose at the moment, because our other layer is going to lay right on the top. And I'm thinking that's probably about all I need. So I'm going to just trim it while I'm here. I think I've got my scissors out that are not my ribbon scissors, because it's not cutting as well as it should be, so I'm pretty sure they're not my ribbon scissors. Okay, so that's now our base. And I am going to layer that onto the back here, because I don't actually need to use this base on this layer anymore. So I'm going to put this on, and I'm just going to use the stamping seal to attach it. There's no depth to this ribbon hardly, so you don't need to have dimensionals or anything. Let's just fold this in half so I know where that is. And let's pop this onto the front. And I always try and layer up, or sort of square up 3 corners. I try to do the top 2 and the left hand side, and I find that if those 3 look good, then I'm okay. My card is in the right place. Okay, now we don't need that for a little while, so I'm going to put it away. And we're going to concentrate on making this piece. And I've got my layered ovals. I've got the largest scallop. Oh, they're not ovals, sorry, circles. The largest circle scalloped, and the largest of the plain round ones as well. And you can see when I put them together, there's only a tiny little bit of border, and that's all I want. If you wanted a sort of a bigger border, just choose a smaller circle for this one. And I've already cut out the circle, the plain circle in the Whisper White, and the scalloped circle in the Magenta Madness. And I've got my little Zany zebra. I got the one that looks like he's sort of jumping or running. And I'm just going to get my Magenta ink. And there's not actually a lot of stamping to this card. When you do stamp the image, I'm trying to keep it to the left-hand side a little bit, because as you can see, when you cut the circle, you're only going to see sort of from the centre to the left-hand side. So you don't want it right in the middle. So just pop that down, and then just hold him on there. Because it's the thicker Whisper White that I'm stamping on, I always leave it an extra second or 2. There we go. Let's pop that to one side. I don't need that anymore at the moment. I have done some other stamping, and I will actually show you that at the same time. I took the sentiment that says kick up your heels, and with just some of my scraps of Whisper White, I've stamped that a couple of times. I only need it once, but sometimes I just like to stamp a couple of times so that I know that I've got the best stamping. And these are just little scrap pieces. I always save, when you trim a piece of card and you've got like these little pieces, I save those because they're just the right size for a lot of the sentiments, and they're the perfect size for this punch. And let's see. See, that sentiment fits perfectly in that punch, and you don't need much in the way of cardstock. So they're just perfect for this. Okay, now I'm not doing any colouring today. I will attach this to the Magenta Madness. Sometimes I will colour those images like you saw here, that I coloured them, but I think because we've already got quite a lot of colour, I'm going to leave this just black and white. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to attach this onto here, and I'm just going to sort of decide how much of the circle I want to keep on my card. And I'm just sort of trying to gauge how much I want showing. Now, I'm only holding this so that it's level with the edge of the card and I can see what I want to cut off. And I think that looks about right. So I'm going to attach it. You could attach it with stamping seal. I think actually I'll put it on with dimensionals, and I've got some odd bits and pieces here. I'm going to check that I've got the right side, and I'm just going to put my dimensional edges on. Check how far I'm going across. Let's put a little bit here, and another little odd piece here. And the edges are always good for things like this, where nobody's going to see it and you want to put maybe a larger area on. And you know how I like to save these pieces. I think they're some of the most versatile pieces of the dimensionals. Okay, so let's just see. I'm going to line it up just on my grid paper so I can make sure I get this level. I'm going to just move this ribbon up a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to get my larger scissors and I'm just going to, from the inside here, I'm just going to trim down. You could put it through your paper trimmer if you wanted as well. I'm just going to cut down with those scissors. It's only quick. Okay, and then last of all, I've got my little sentiment to put on, and you could put it across here. On this one, I had the sentiment on with the image, but I couldn't really get a lot of the sentiments to work on that. But I do like that on there, and I think actually though I might put it just on here. Let's find some more little dimensionals. I'll use the little ones. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this little set. I think it's a cute little set, and I think it's going to make some great little cards. Just check again, see if I like it. No, I'm going to put it over here. I like it over here. And if you wanted to put some bling on as well, that would look really cool. But because I'm putting it in the mail, I don't always like to put a lot of bling on. I do always fold my card in half like that when I'm putting it through the mail, so that there are no little pieces sticking out for when it goes through the mailing machine. But I think that is just perfect for what I need. And so there we are. There's our quick little Zany zebras, and just a remake of a pattern that I've used before. So thanks for joining me today, everybody. I will be trying to post on my blog Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays at the moment. I found it quite difficult to do the weekend videos, so I'm going to have a try at doing Monday, Wednesday and Friday and see how that works out. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all again really, really soon. Bye.